myself, my eyes watered a little, and just looking around and seeing how serious everybody was. It was a good feeling. You felt a kind of sense of friendship and just being together. It was a nice thing. I thought they did a good job with it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Comiskey Park for Game 2 of this 3-game set against the New York Yankees. And along with Darren Jackson, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you this homestand. Sox took it on the chin last night by a score of 11-3, but that really was not the story of the evening. First of all, it was getting back to the game of baseball, something we had missed because of the unprecedented tragedy on Tuesday, September the 11th. But DJ, last night, Sox put on a pregame show that was acclaimed by most people around baseball to be one of the best pregame festivities in the whole game.
Well, it was very emotional. It was hard for you and I both to keep our eyes dry, but it's just a tribute that was well deserved, and it was a beautiful event. It was great to be part of it and be here, and it was also good to have baseball come back and be let's say a distraction for the fans at a time where it's needed.
Well, you can see they brought out some of Chicago's bravest and finest out there. Firemen and the policemen joined side by side, circling the field. Jerry Manuel, as you saw earlier, and Joe Torre exchanging some pleasantries. And truly, that was a thing last night. There was another sign that says, "Tonight, all of us are Yankees," and they were so true. But it'll be Roger Clemens out there on the bump tonight. He'll be opposed by Gary Glover, and Roger Clemens trying to do something nobody else in the game of baseball has ever done: win 20 of his first 21 decisions.
Welcome back to Comiskey Park. Sox set to play the second game of this 3-game set. Tonight it's a tough task facing the 19-1 Roger Clemens, especially after the thrashing the White Sox took last night, 11-3. Facing Orlando Hernandez, who just handed the bats right back to the White Sox. So tonight they need a little offense, and Gary Glover out there on the hill for the Sox got to hold them in check. Right now, let's take a look at Joe Torre's starting lineup tonight. Anything started is Chuck Knobloch out in left field. Shortstop is Derek Jeter. Center fielder Bernie Williams bats third, and the cleanup hitter is first baseman Tino Martinez. The DH is Dave Justice doing the catching. Jorge Posada hit himself a grand slam last night, had 5 RBIs. Shane Spencer is in right field. Scott Brocious down at third base, and closed it out with Alfonso Soriano at second. Here's Gary Glover's numbers: 4-2, 4.69 ERA. First time seeing these Yankees. 7 starts he's made this year. He's 1-1 as a starter with a 4.84 ERA. Let's check out the rest of the defense behind Gary Glover as he finishes warm-up tosses. From left to right in the outfield, you have Lee Singleton and Ordonez. The infield is Valentin, Clayton, Durham, and Konerko. Behind the plate is Mark Johnson. Weather tonight is cool. 62 degrees, 87% humidity. Winds not too strong at 5 to 10. It's cool and damp. You do have a little bit of drizzling going on here right now. As you see the umpires for tonight: Mike Winters behind the plate, Ted Barrett at first, Rob Drake down at second. Alfonso Marquez is down at third base. So Gary Glover set to take his last warm-up toss, and then Johnson to throw it on down. Chuck Knobloch will stroll to the plate, and it's time for Hawk to take it away.
All right, DJ, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Fox Sports Net. So happy you could join us for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Game 2 of this 9-game homestand. 3 with the Yankees, 3 with Kansas City, and 3 with Minnesota. And Chuck Knobloch gets set to lead it off. Knobloch hitting at .251, 7 homers. He's driven in 40, 2 for 5 last evening with an RBI. Yankees come in 30 games over it, 87-57, 13 games in front of Boston. First pitch off the plate. Knobloch, 33-year-old veteran. Many years a second baseman. Now, because of that problem, they put him in left field. 1-1 to count. Yankees 41-31 on the road. They have won 5 in a row. And they have won 10 of their last 11. Last night was the first meeting of the year between these two clubs. Last season they met 12 times and the Sox won 8 of them. Oh, Gary Glover, the 24-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 205 pounds, out of DeLand, Florida. Misses upstairs, 2-2. You're at Comiskey Park. 330 down the left field line, 372 in left center, 400 straightaway center, 377 in right center, and 335 down the right field line. Chopper stays down. Can he get him? Nice peg. Yes.
Nice job right there. Royce Clayton did stay down with that and didn't waste any time. He's going to catch it, plant, and throw. You have a leadoff hitter that runs well. It's exactly the way to get him when he hits in the hole.
And all of us here at Fox Sports Net would like to welcome our affiliate Mediacom and all of yours in Dubuque, Iowa. Dubuque?
Yes.
They have got a ton of my money in Dubuque.
Good.
So here's Jeter, 3 for 4 last evening. Outfield around to the right. There's a strike. That evens the count at 1.
I talked to a couple of Sox players before the game today and asked them about how they felt getting back out there yesterday. They said, boy, my timing was off and I didn't even know it would be that bad.
That's into center field. Singleton is there. Chris, 2 games. Well, nobody knew how it was going to be because nobody's ever done anything like that. Nobody's ever gone through anything like that. And as you well know, DJ, you got 25 players, and you're probably going to have, you know, 15 or 20 different kinds of emotions.
And they also said it was awfully weird to see how the Yankees seemed like they'd been playing games during that time. They just came right out. They did notice that, you know, some guys just handle it differently.
Here's Bernie Williams. Takes ball 1.
Also going to be a different amount of adrenaline between these two teams right now at this time of the year as the Yankees getting set for the playoffs.
Well, I think last night, you know, up until the 6th inning, everything in that ball game was okay. Then they had the 2 ejections. Then after that, it seems like all the wind went out of the sails of the Sox. There's the strike. But Hernandez really jerked up a good one last evening, going 7 innings, no runs, just 2 hits. He dominated the Sox hitters. So if you're going to do that, I mean, you know, that'll make you look a little bit different than a team that's scoring 11 runs on you.
That's exactly right. I mean, you know, we talked about it a bit last night. Every individual on these teams is going to handle this layoff differently, and their emotions are going to be quite different from the whole situation. So it just seems that the Yankees somehow put it together a little quicker.
Pops him up. Good inning right here for Gary Glover. Jose makes a catch, and that'll do it after a half inning of play. It's the Yankees nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Time right now, take a look at Jerry Manuel's starting lineup. Getting things started. Second baseman Ray Durham will be followed by Jose Valentin at third base. Mags Ordonez is in right field. Paul Konerko, cleanup hitter at first. DH is Jeff Leifert. Carlos Lee is in left field batting 6th. Chris Singleton is in center field. Shortstop Royce Clayton, and close it out with Mark Johnson behind the plate. Take a look at Roger Clemens, 19-1 with a 3.44 ERA. Career record of 279 victories, 143 losses with a 3.09 ERA. His career also 19-9 versus the Sox. With a 2.69 ERA. Let's check out the defense behind Roger tonight. In the outfield, left to right, you have Knobloch, Williams, and Spencer. Infield is Brocious, Jeter, Soriano, and Martinez. Behind the plate, Jorge Posada.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Ray Durham will lead it off. 0 for 2 last evening, hitting at .262, 18 homers. He's driven in 55. Lifetime against Clemens, faced him 30 times, has 9 hits, 1 homer. Brosius in on the grass at third. Jams him first pitch. Soriano. 1 out. Well, an interesting thing Roger Clemens has going on for him. He has won 15 in a row, 5-time Cy Young Award winner. Also most valuable player back in '86. And he is trying to become the first man ever to win 20 of his first 21 decisions. Rube Marquard back in 1912 started off with the Giants 19-1 before finishing up that season at 26-11.
26-11, 19-1. Wow. Well, Clemens does have 9 no decisions this season. His only loss came against Seattle back May 20th.
Jose fouls it back. The outside corner, tried to backdoor him with a curveball. Jose 7 for 26 lifetime against Clemens with a couple of homers. Still running up there. 39 years old.
And when he came up with that splitty some years back, has changed his whole demeanor as a pitcher. Hitters have that much more to worry about.
That's high in the right center field. Shane Spencer. And right now let's check out our Heineken picks to click this evening. Mangio. Directing the crew with Jeff Leefer. DJ's going to Mark Johnson and Jerry Gorman. Sean Temple and I are going to go with Ray Durham. So here's Mag sitting at 301, 28 homers. He's driven in 98.
Splitty that he throws now is a big strikeout pitch for himself. He would have those 4 of the pitches, the fastball, curveball, slider, change, but you add that splitty to it, he would throw it in counts and get hitters thinking. He'd throw it in pitch counts where you wouldn't expect it. They'd have to think.
Strike on the corner. Clemens tonight trying to pick up his 20th victory against the Sox. That will be the 16th that he has won 20 or more against in his career. Breaking ball into center field. Bernie Williams right there. So both men, Glover and Clemens, 1, 2, 3. We'll go to second scoreless. Right now, let's check out our Geico Direct Moment quote from Jerry Manuel on the return of baseball. Today's off probably rejuvenated people to get back to what they love doing, and that's playing baseball. Hopefully, everyone can take it up to a level where it can be entertaining and exciting for the country. It'll be Martinez, Justice, and Posada here in the top of the second. No score. Martinez 1 for 3 with an RBI last evening. .32 homers, 106 driven in.
That was career high, 44 home runs.
Time he was at 1. And a reminder for every strikeout recorded by a Sox pitcher this season, Taco Bell is proud to make a charitable donation to the Boys and Girls Club of Chicago. Taco Bell, pitching for the kids of Chicago.
third time in Tino's career that he's hit at least 30 home runs. Graphic 261 career and 995 in the RBIs.
3-1 the count. I remember when Tino first came into the league, looked like he may have a tough time adjusting. He had a slow bat. The only thing he could really hit hard was an off-speed pitch. And boy, did he make some adjustments. He became an outstanding fastball hitter.
By his free agent year with Seattle, that year I think he hit 33 home runs. That was his biggest productive year, and got to the Yankees and just took off.
He's gone. 1 out.
Tino Martinez has been very, very steady since that last year with the Mariners. Through his career here with the Yankees, his Glover just reached back, fires a 92-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. You saw from pitch tracks.
So here's David Justice, 35 years old, hitting at .250, 18 homers. He's driven in 51. He did not play last evening. Checking the slate of action for you around the American League. Kansas City taking on Cleveland at Jacobs Field. They have just concluded a rain delay there on the bottom of the second. 1-0 Indians. Tampa Bay at Boston. Baltimore, Toronto. Texas at home against Oakland. Detroit at Minnesota. And Seattle hosting Anaheim. Over in the National League, Cubs leading the Reds 7-0, bottom of the fourth at Synergy Field. Mets won their 9th out of the last 10 ball games. They beat Pittsburgh 5-2. Cardinals beat Milwaukee this afternoon 8-2 in St. Louis. Atlanta at Philadelphia, top of the 6th. They are tied at 2. Look at Royce. Look at this play. Yes.
Got to get it done right there. Royce Clayton. We've seen him do it this year quite a bit. Go up the middle, almost behind second base. Gary Glover gonna not be able to reach out and grab it, but Royce does a good job of making sure that he catches the ball. That's all there is to it. He gets the glove down low, gives his body up, doesn't think about that. Times it just to leave his feet while his body's in the air. Gloves catching the ball.
Here's the switch hitting catcher, Jorge Posada. Posada 279, 21 homers, 93 driven in. Drove in 5 last evening. Other action around the National League. So is Florida at Montreal. Arizona at Colorado. That game in the top of the 4th. Rockies leading 7-0. Later on, San Diego and LA, and Houston taking on the Giants at Pac Bell.
A play where Royce had to leave his feet to make the grab. If his body hits before the ball makes it to his glove, it's going to be jarring. Posada fouls that one straight back. But you got to time it to where you literally have not made contact with the ground yet while you're reaching out there to make that grab. And Royce, we've seen him do it a lot this year. He does that perfectly.
The guy that's probably as good, or as quick is a better way to put it, at getting up at the shortstop position once he hits the ground is Christian Guzman.
And he's got a cannon that allows him. He doesn't even have to be as quick, because the speed of the ball getting to first makes up some time. Now, we saw somebody just recently that was pretty dang quick in that infield in Cleveland. John McDonald. That guy was quick to the ball and quick off his feet and then quick back up on him.
Yeah, Guzman is back. That's one reason the Twins have been playing better.
That is so true. He's an igniter for him.
He's the heart of that ball club, in my opinion. Full count. I mean, he is. When he went down, that club went south.
Yeah, it did. You know, and then the addition also of David Ortiz, a big guy in the middle of the lineup, helps. That's for sure. Getting those two back similar time was really a bonus.
Once again, the payoff pitch. This with a curveball. So the first base runner of the ball game. That'll bring up the right fielder Shane Spencer, hitting at .264, 9 homers. He's driven in 39. He and Posada went back to back in the 7th inning last evening. Outfield playing him spread out and straight up.
When Spencer first made it to the big leagues, he was burst on the scene with power numbers.
It was almost amazing. That hit hard off the end of the bat, just over the head of Jose, so the first hit of the ball.
Carried right over into the playoffs for him too. I can't recall what year it was, maybe 98. Finished what, the last month, he had like 13 home runs or something like that.
So the Yankees with 2 out have 2 on, and here is Scott Brosius. There are his numbers: 293, 12, and 42. 35-year-old veteran.
Spencer was 98. He got called up. He had 10 home runs in that last month of the season. 10 home runs and 27 RBIs in 27 games.
Going to the count to Brosius. Zotor. Championship rings in the last 5 years. Probably keeps one of the best clubhouses in all of baseball. And by that I mean it's a calm clubhouse. It's a confident clubhouse. You don't see a lot of the Yankee players saying things about other matters than the game itself. And that's a tribute to the manager.
Yeah, that's true. It is so hard to control or keep, certain personalities from stirring it up a bit.
Popping off.
Yeah, and he does a good job of doing that.
That's popped up. Stay in here. Come back. America over by the Yankee dugout.
Ever dangerous dugout area. Those stairs, and right now it's a little slick and slippery. It's been drizzling a bit. Paulie got to get over here, feel for himself where he's at, know exactly where the edge of those stairs are, and try and reach out without going down in there and hurting himself. We've seen a lot of guys go down in those stairs and get hurt. The last one I remember, big injury, was Mo Vaughn.
And there's a base hit right off the end of the bat. So here comes Posada. He'll score. And the walk jumps up and bites Gary Glover. 1-0 New York.
Get that walk. A little broken bat hit by Spencer, a little blooper by Spencer, and then this one right off the end of the bat placed nicely by Brosius. At the same time, just about 5 inches from the edge of Paul Konerko's mitt to get out of the inning.
And that'll bring it to second baseman Alfonso Soriano. 3 for 4 last night with a homer. You want to see a quick bat. This young man has it.
Quick live bat right through the hitting zone.
Last night, every time took first pitch.
So
shows you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, but he's not done a good job. You see, with runners in scoring position, that graphic hitting 130 with 2 outs, and on a whole, 211. So he's had a lot of opportunities because he has 67 RBIs.
Oh, 1-2 the count. The only time he made an out last evening was his last at bat in the 9th inning when he struck out on a real high fastball, way out of the zone. .41 stolen bases, hitting at .277, 17 homers, 67 ribbies, 32 doubles, and 3 triples.
Not bad for a young rookie. With all-around tools and talent, he has got them.
1-2.
He normally was a shortstop. But Derek Jeter there. So he learned basically in spring training this year how to play second base.
Lays off that high heater. Well, we've been hearing about him for a couple of years. And now it's very evident why.
I remember Chris Singleton played with him before he joined the White Sox in '99 in the minor leagues. Well, he knew about him either way. I was talking about Soriano's talent and ability. Take a look at Soriano's swing right here from the side. A little leg kick, and then right there at the hitting zone. That ball got in on him a little bit. And he's got a good idea and a good approach to getting to it quickly.
Yes, he's gone. And that'll retire the side, but the Yankees get on the board after an inning and a half. 1-0 New York.
And the Cubs battle King Griffey Jr. and the Cincinnati Reds. Coverage starts with Dodge of Midlothian and Chicago Sports Today. Cubs Reds tomorrow at 11 on Fox Sports Net.
It'll be Konerko, Lee, check that, Leifer, and Lee. 1-0 Yankees. Konerko hitting at .282, 30 homers. He's driven in 92. Threw the collar last night in 4 at-bats. And lifetime against Clemens, 8 at-bats, 2 hits. Pretty good pass at that one. Count evens at 1. Inside corner.
Talking to some guys before the game about getting a bit tight during a long break and having to come back and basically like your arm and things like that. Little injuries that have been fine because every day you work out on them. Tough to do it.
The ball hit deep into left field, way back. He looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes! Number 31 for Konerko, and this game is tied at 1.
Now 7 RBIs away from becoming the 4th White Sox player. They hit at least 30 home runs and drive in 100. Right there. Number 31 on the season. You see, it was a splitty that was right over the heart of the plate. There's your Hyundai home run replay. Left out there for him to just drive out of the park.
Here's Leifer. Takes that pitch high, and with that home run by Konerko, the Alex Snellius family will donate $100 to Chicago White Sox charities for every White Sox home run hit during the 2001 season. Alex and Ursula Snellius, thank you. That is number 197. $19,700.
Second in the AL in home runs. Also on a pace to set a White Sox record in home runs last year, a 215. A chance, if they continue on, to surpass that.
Two and one to count to Leifer.
There's your home run league leaders. Rangers far and above, running away with that title.
Flips that one into left field. Not blocked. One out.
I was talking about before that Konerko home run. Guys had mentioned that coming back after a long layoff, their bodies are not as loose. They just really get a chance to heal all those adhesions, and they come back, and it's hard to break right back through them the way they were on a daily basis when they were out there.
There's a curveball strike to Carlos Lee. Carlos at 269, 22 homers, 78 driven in. 2 for 11 lifetime against Clemens. And home run by Konerko, the 18th thrown by Roger this season.
Not bad.
No.
197 innings in. Not bad at all. Carlos Lee for tonight had really been struggling. 3 for his last 24 and 208 in his last 18 ball games. 223 since the All-Star break.
2-1 to count. Asylum to the outside. Well, Clemens' longevity has been based a lot on. There's one guy who has really used his legs well. Look at all the guys who have pitched for long periods of time. Nobody used their legs any better than Nolan Ryan. He pitched almost 27 years, and that's a high ball 4. When you use your legs that well, chances are you're going to use your lower back. Roger's always been one of those drop and drive pitchers, and the more you use your legs, the more you use your lower back, the easier it makes it on your arm.
Yeah, I'd have to say quite evident. If you look at the history of the guys that had the longer careers, they did exactly that. They did a great job using their lower portion of their body. Say a Tom Seaver, great job using his legs. Some of the top guys, some of the best pitchers, really ought to drive from their legs.
So here's Singleton, Chris, at 298, 7 homers. He's driven in 39, 0 for 4 last evening. In lifetime against Clemens, 3 for 10. Looking for it, got it, a little bit tardy.
That's a funny thing about sitting on Roger Clemens' fastball. You can be ready for it, but a lot of times you're not 100% sure he's going to come with it, because he does mix it up. Not just a flamethrower who's going to challenge you all the time. He's pretty smart out there.
And he backdoors him with a curveball.
Funny thing, when you do send on a guy like Roger Clemens' fastball, you just got to commit to it. Say, here it comes. I'm not going to be late on it. I'm going to get to it.
off the plate. You know, when you talk to pitchers today, a lot of them, they ask them about using their lower back, and they really don't understand what you're talking about. It's almost becoming a lost phrase.
Well, it's got to be taught. Somebody's got to teach them. Otherwise, they'll never know. Unless they can figure it out on their own, which a lot of guys can't.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the last 10 or 15 years, I've talked to a lot of pitching coaches and asked them if they're teaching lower back. And the majority said no. So I'll tell you, they didn't know what it was. Talking with Don Drysdale for many hours about using the lower back. And of course, Don, in my opinion, knew just about as much about pitching as anybody. And he said it's imperative. He said to have any kind of a career. There's a little soft line drive, and they're going to double him up. But the Sox get the home run by Konerko, number 31. We'll go to the third, tied at 1.
Time right now to have a look at our Jose Cuervo Cantina fan cam. Still have a lot of people in attendance that showing their patriotism, an American flag, and glad to be back out of the ballpark, which of course has always been known as America's pastime.
Right here, top of the third, 1-1 tie. Will also be the top of the order for the Yankees. Knobloch, Jeter, and Williams to face Gary Glover. Glover making his 8th start, and this is his 43rd appearance. Knobloch, first time up, leading off the ball game, hit one in the hole. And Royce Clayton made a very fine play to get him easily at first base.
Played with Chuck Knobloch in '97 in Minnesota, and two totally different players that you'd see from then to now.
Well, you've seen it before, and I have too, quite a few times over my career, DJ. You see an individual who plays and plays, and is a heck of a player, and all of a sudden gets a brain cramp and can't throw the baseball anymore.
He was one of the top leadoff men that I'd ever played with. He took his walks, worked deep into counts, was not thinking about home runs. He got away from what he was doing in Minnesota, got into Yankee Stadium, started turning on more balls, trying to hit more balls in the air. Average started to come down a little bit. And defensively, things changed for him, obviously, when he got off that AstroTurf, and then he had the mental block throwing the ball.
Up high, 2-2. It's a sad thing to see. I guess the first one that I ever saw was a right-hander in the Pittsburgh organization, or the club, I should say, Steve Blass. I faced Steve Blass, and he had outstanding control. Had some good years for the Pirates, as there's a chopper two-hopper to Clayton. And all of a sudden he goes out there one spring and poof, can't throw it in a cage.
Well, the amazing thing is there's the Tommy John surgery, as it's pretty much nicknamed, known. There's also the Steve Blass syndrome. People in baseball know when you say the Steve Blass syndrome, that's not a good thing. You know a guy has got a mental block and cannot hit the broadside of a barn with a throw.
Well, I saw it happen in the minor leagues with a couple of guys that I played with. So I have also saw it before Blass. Steve Sachs had a lot of catchers over the years who had that mental block. They could not throw it back to the pitcher. Here's Jeter. Did you ever have when you were playing baseball, did you ever have a recurring dream?
Yeah.
What was yours? Every player has one.
It would be that I would be late for the start of a ball game. I was batting leadoff, and I had the fear of being late, missing that first at bat. Everybody, the game was waiting on me to run out there, and I'd run out there, and I forgot to put my socks on.
Hung that one way back, and it's 2-1 Yankees. Got a hanger, and he didn't miss it. That's number 19 for Jeter.
Saw him hit him soft last night and get a couple of hits, then hit one hard. He's also capable of doing this. You see, number 19. He's an outstanding hitter, especially on off-speed stuff, because his main approach is to drive the ball, the fastball, the other direction. And you hang him a breaking ball, and he does exactly that with it. He can hit it.
There are a whole bunch of guys going to hit that pitch right there out of the ballpark. As here's Bernie Williams. Takes a strike. Bernie popped up to third.
How about you?
My recurring dream when I played was that I would hit the ball. I couldn't get out of the box. I couldn't run. Couldn't run to first.
The old cement feet, huh?
I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't run to first.
Well, it's a bad feeling when you're holding up the ball game. Everybody's waiting for you. You run out there, you get in the box, and they look down and say, "You got no socks, son. Get out of here." And then they start the game without you.
Well, the most important thing is you have a couple.
They wouldn't let me play. They told me to get the heck. They waited long enough. They weren't waiting for me to go put my socks on now, too.
Oh, so you had part two of that, huh?
They sent me home. Nobody was real happy with me.
2-2 the count. I've talked with some pitchers about their recurring dreams, and they say, "Oh yeah," and most of them, they just could not hit the catcher. They could not throw the ball and hit the catcher. There he's gone. Good curveball down and in. 2 out.
Here's the last pitch, the breaking ball from Gary Glover. That good curveball that he does have, especially if it's down there. I'm going to leave it up. That one that he did leave up to Jeter was a roller. Pitch track show you that's well out of the strike zone, but good teasing breaking ball for Bernie Williams, and he will go over the top of the breaking ball right there. A lot of times he got some good bite on it. Chase it.
Here's Tino Martinez, struck out on a fastball. He knows that fastball back.
There's a reminder. The White Sox face the Royals this Sunday at 1:05. It's Fan Appreciation Day at Comiskey Park, featuring lots of fun and great prizes for White Sox fans. For tickets, call 312-831-11-SOX. I did play with a guy in the minor leagues. We've talked about him before in the broadcast. Gary Forsha played second base, and he went through the throwing syndrome.
Did he?
Yeah. He couldn't throw to first base either. He eventually became a left fielder, just like Chuck Toblock. And he actually played some good left field.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Sox. And that's the souvenir left side. Cubs now leading Cincinnati 9-0, top of the 6th at Synergy Field. Phillies leading Atlanta 4-2, trying to win their 3rd straight against the Braves. That's in the bottom of the 7th at Veterans Stadium. Colorado leading the D-backs 7-2, bottom of the 5th at Coors Field. Chopper to Hopper to Durham. But the hanging curveball by Gary Glover hit out of here by Jeter. And after 2.5, Yankees by 1.
Win a trip for 2 to Cuervo Nation in the British Virgin Islands. Visit the Jose Cuervo Cantina by the scoreboard or call 1-8666-CUERVO. Guess the number of home runs you think the White Sox will hit during the regular season, and you could be a winner. You must be 21 or older to enter this contest.
2-1 Yankees here in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Clayton, Johnson, and then back to the top of the order with Ray Durham. First pitch right there. Second baseman Soriano. And some members of the Red Cross taking donations for the Disaster Relief Fund. And certainly Americans have poured their hearts and their money. Tens of millions of dollars already have been donated, along with tons of food and clothing. So here's Mark. 2 for 2 last night. Takes first pitch fastball strike. Count evens at 1. Tigers leading Minnesota 4-1. Top of the 4th in Minneapolis. Cleveland leading Kansas City 3-2. Bottom of the 4th at Jacobs Field.
One of those pitchers where there'll be a hitter in the box, like a Mark Johnson, not a big power guy. You'll see him sometimes try to get ahead of those guys with some off-speed stuff. He knows those are the guys that are expecting to be challenged by him.
Clemens 136 games over the 500 mark in his career. Two down. Now, one thing about it, DJ, is that in my adult lifetime, I have never had this feeling togetherness, unity, and most importantly a common bond that the whole country is going through right now.
It is something beautiful to actually see this kind of unity.
Breaking ball, strike to Ray. Ray grounded out to his counterpart Soriano. I never experienced this feeling. It's quite an emotion. 1-1.
The most beautiful pictures that you'll see is when you see all kinds of different race, religions, and creeds come together, and you can see that's not even a thought at the time.
Little chopper up the middle. Jeter on the move, double clutch, and he still gets it. Nice play. 1-2-3 inning for Clemens. We'll go to the 4th, trailing by 1. That's the story here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Justice, Posada, and Spencer to face Gary Glover. First pitch strike. Justice hit a ball back through the middle at Royce Clayton. Made a good play to get it. And the count 0-2. Starts him off with a fastball. Comes back with a change.
Yeah, you saw Justice's hips kind of committing to a fastball and was ready to pull the trigger on something hard. And perfectly located changeup by Glover.
Yes, he's gone.
Time right now. Let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question. Roger Clemens has won 6 ERA titles. Who is the only pitcher in Major League history to win more than him? Somebody who pitched in the 20s and 30s.
Here's Posada. He drew that leadoff walk. Checked that 2-out walk back in the 2nd inning. Nobody on. Posada walks, and then he came around to score. Good curveball. 0-2.
He played in the 20s and 30s. Who was it?
He was pretty good. Got a heck of a spitter.
Oh, the old wet ball.
He's gone. Good curveball. 5 strikeouts for Garrett.
And here's a reminder. The pregame party at the Comiskey Park patio is the best way to entertain large groups. The patio is perfect for any special event, including office outings, birthdays, and more. For details, call 312-674-1000.
Here's Spencer. Had a little soft single right off the end of the bat. Cubs now leading the Reds 10-0, bottom of the 6th in Cincinnati. Phillies leading the Braves 5-2, bottom of the 7th, Veterans Stadium. In the corner, in the count 0-2. We're doing some chunking here in the top of the 4th. He has good stuff. A little comebacker. He's got it. 1-2-3 inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. We need 1 to tie.
Let's take a look right now to Aflac Trivia Question and Answer. Roger Clemens has won 6 ERA titles, who is the only pitcher in Major League history to win more than him. Lefty Grove, 9 ERA titles.
I used to have a recurring dream about him, too. Jose can't get it. 2-1 Yankees. Jose fly to right field his first at bat. That's low.
You gotta give me some props. I threw that name out there.
That's low. 2-1.
You don't have to, I guess. You don't have to acknowledge that I threw Lefty Grove's name out there as if I knew it was possibly him out of 3 names. Pretty good.
A legend in his own mind. Not blocked.
And here's a reminder. This Sunday is Willie Wonka's Kids Day, presented by Fruit Runs. The White Sox host the Royals at 105. Fans can collect autographs pregame, and kids can run the bases postgame. Plus, kids tickets are just $1 at the Comiskey Park ticket windows on the day of the game.
I would have gone with Christy Matheson.
Well, it was either Christie or Walter.
Big train.
And I threw Lefty out there. Give it to me.
Here's Maggs, fly to center field. Texas trying to snap Oakland's 9-game winning streak. Rangers leading 3-0. Bottom of the 3rd at home. And there's a little duck snort. Yes, right off the end of the bat. Maggs digging. Throw by Spencer. It's high and off the mark. So the 1-out double. Number 37 for Maglio.
How do you get it? Just get it. Oh, shattered bat. Flare perfectly placed down that right field line. Good pitch by Clemens. Fastball away. Just a little dart he was throwing out there on the outside corner. Maglio wishing it fair as he was running down the line.
Here's Konerko. Led off the 2nd with his 31st homer. Now has 93 ribbies. Outfield. Straight up, spread out. And if you're just tuning in and missed it, poof.
Rocket left a splitty right over the plate for Paulie. Swing that Paul hit that home run with was not a big, powerful swing, just a short, little quick flip of the bat. And everything is right. The hips, the hands, the legs, the body. It'll take a lot to make the perfect point of contact on a baseball.
Clemens knows Maggs has 22 stolen bases in 27 attempts. Soriano jockeying just a little bit. There's some high gas. He reached back. A little giddy up on that one.
There's a collection for you. Goodness.
A lot of work went into that. That's you, Feisty. I can see you right now on the first tee. Dan Marino tournament.
Take you away from my actual golf.
That's outside. 2-2.
Not a distraction from other than my swing.
No, even that hat wouldn't suffice.
Next time you see me, I'm going to be quite improved.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Polly, tie this ball game up. Knock him in. The 2-2. Good pitch to hit. Made a pretty good pass out.
Well, it appears Roger Clemens is not going to make the same mistake twice. He's not going to get caught in between the speed of the splitty and the fastball as he did before. Now he's just reaching back and putting a little extra on, especially with 2 strikes. Not going to leave it out over the plate for Paulie to catch up to it. And Paul did hit that home run. The count was 1-2. He did have 2 strikes on him, so you see the difference. 95, 96 mile-an-hour heaters now. We hadn't seen more than 94 prior to this at bat from Clemens.
It's quite a story about Clemens. That tragedy hit last Tuesday. He rented a car and drove down to Texas to be with his family.
Jumped on a plane and flew up here to Chicago on Sunday.
Roger's a good man. He's a good man. Here's a base hit. Maggs really did not get a real good jump. Maybe he didn't check his outfielders.
No, Maggs actually kind of froze. That ball was hit and he was not even moving. This ball shoots this into right field, and you're right, probably just a case of not checking your outfielders. And that's the kind of little thing right now where you've been away from the game for an extended period of time. You see Maglio is going to be hit. He's going to stand there. Actually, he just stood there for a second as it was hit, and then did his secondary and froze. It was not. It didn't look like it from that angle, but it was not a real good jump.
So here's Leifer. He flied to Knobloch in left field. 1 out, runners at the corners. a souvenir left side. Those are the little things that turn into big things.
Well, the White Sox have had a season of little things that have cost them
Dearly.
And you know, you get a layoff and then you have to finish the season and it's extended. You kind of get that layoff that's going to probably make it a little more magnified when they make these mistakes, because now you're going to sit there and have to point out that, hey, you know what, it might be a little rusty. It's not just an issue of them making mental mistakes. It's, are they going to be able to snap out of that delay? Hopefully. For this tonight, 16 ball games left, and they want to play sound baseball and win some games.
The ball is striking out. Leaf now 0 for 4 lifetime against the Rocket. You know, talking about Roger being a good man, I think I understand, but you can't be for sure. He's the only one that knows in that Piazza incident. Oh, he had a pretty good pitch to hitting underneath it. He's just so competitive. There had been so much made out of when he hit Piazza in the head. I just think he had a snap.
Well, you know, it hit Piazza in the head, and there was a history of him knocking Piazza down another time or two. He just really, Piazza had hit him so well, he decided he was going to start flipping him a lot. And something happened, yeah.
Full count.
Rocket felt that Piazza felt a little too comfortable in the batter's box against him. I know I'd seen highlights of him hitting a few home runs against him. I think Roger said, not anymore. Too much Mr. Nice Guy, where he wasn't pitching in enough.
Here's a payoff pitch. Just did get a piece of it. Pretty good splitter right there by Clemens.
Well, that's when his splitter is the most effective. I remember facing him when there was a 3-2 count one time. Bases loaded, and of course he aces me with a 3-2 splitty. And it's not a big breaking splitty. It's just enough to get you over the top of it. Lever did a good job getting a piece.
And there's a base hit. Mags will score. Canerco will pull up at second base. And this game is tied at 2. There's a good at-bat for Jeff Leafer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That 3-2 splitty that he was able to get a piece of, and then he gets the fastball. Rocket breaks his bat, but put a beautiful pass on it, and it hits the liner in the right field. After you've seen a 3-2 splitty from Roger Clemens, to be able to cover that fastball, you're doing a good job.
That's what we discuss so often, is the fact that with more experienced guys learn how to lay off and fight off tough pitchers' pitches. If you do it long enough, you're going to get something good to hit. Here's Carlos. He walked in the second. Carlos got that big swing going on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That won't work upstairs against Roger Clemens.
Unfortunately, Carlos has been in a funk for the whole second half of the season. And you can look in his face right now and see the confusion. He's just not very confident right now.
1-1 to count. Well, what you got to hope for right here, being a Sox fan, is maybe Clemens will hit his bat, which happens.
Yeah, and you know what? And Carlos Lee, just saw that big sigh from him a second ago. Carlos Lee is sometimes hoping that. Just throw it up here and hit my bat.
That's low. Good eye. 2-1.
You can even get in the catbird seat, get ahead in the count, and still, because things haven't gone right, not feel that confident. The minute you are swinging the bat well and you get ahead in the count, boy, you're saying, bring it on.
How's it back? Well, that had an email about that not too long ago when you talk about somebody hitting your bat. Does that really happen? Well, I've hit home runs before. I've been in slumps when I've hit home runs, and I was the most surprised guy in the ballpark.
Oh, it happens.
Pitcher literally hit my bat.
Oh, it happens. Sometimes you'll see a hitter. He'll start his swing. The pitcher hasn't even let go of the ball yet. He's just, all right, he's coming with a fastball. I'm swinging. And by the time that ball's let go, you've already committed almost to the area you're going to be swinging. So, yeah, he hit your bat.
Here's a 2-2. Right to Soriano, makes a nice pick, and he'll turn it. So the second double play turned by the Yankees, but Sox put a run on the board. We'll go the fifth, tied at 2.
Whatever concerns you, inspires you, enchants you, or thrills you, there's a channel for you on AT&T Broadband. AT&T Broadband, where there's something for everyone.
For the most in-depth coverage of the Chicago sports scene, don't miss Chicago Sports Tonight. It's a half hour of news, analysis, highlights, and interviews, and it's all Chicago. Chicago Sports Tonight tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Third baseman Scott Brosius gets set to lead off the top of the fifth. It'll be Brosius, Soriano, and Knobloch. Brosius 1-for-1 with an RBI, hit a high curveball right off the end of the bat in the hole between third and short. Good swing by Brosius. 1-1. Now getting back that pitcher hitting your bat. We used to have an outfielder here named Ivan Calderon.
I remember Ivan played against him for the minor leagues. Oh,
Great guy.
Good hitter, too.
Yeah, he was. And brutally honest. You know, that's one reason I loved him so much. Checks it up, fouls it off. He had a 2-run homer. Can't remember who it was against the Tigers to win the ball game. So after the game, we're going back on the bus and we're sitting by each other. I said, Ivan, I said, were you looking for that pitch? He goes, Hawk, I had no idea that I even hit the ball. He was in a slump at the time. The pitch didn't get it. Just off the outside corner. Most guys will say, well, it's a slider low and away. I was sitting on it all over. Fouls that straight back. Count hangs at 2-2 to Brosius.
I remember a time I was facing a guy that just owned me, and I was struggling, and the game was on the line. Terry Mulholland, I could not buy a hit off of him, and I was struggling. Bases are loaded. Face him. I pretty much closed my eyes one time and ran into a ball and in the right center for a triple.
Not hit hard.
So you definitely remember those times when the ball basically hit your bat. It wasn't me hitting Mulholland that time, that is for sure. But believe it or not, that changed things for me after that when I faced him. Maybe all of a sudden he thought, oh, this guy can actually put the bat on the ball against me now other than his handle. So maybe he pitched a little differently.
Steve Donovan One of the trainers, along with Gene Monahan, wearing that New York Police Department hat. Soriano takes first pitch strike. He's caught looking his first trip. Breaking ball right off the end of the bat, and a count 0-2. Those new hats finally came in. Don't give me one of those.
Grab me one too. Benny knows my size.
Little peanut head you got?
No. It's a perfect size.
They wear 7 3/8.
7 1/4. You 7 1/2. Bucket head.
7 3/8. Got him again. Blueprint of the first one.
Another outstanding pitch by Gary. A hard cutter. Looked like it's going to be inside and come right on back and catch that corner.
Half a dozen strikeouts for Glover.
Of course, contrary to popular belief, just because you have a bigger head doesn't mean you got more brains.
It doesn't. Not blocked. So that breaks a streak of 7 in a row retired by Glover. And here comes Jeter.
Knobloch wastes no time. He gets himself a high slider. Back up the box. It's right under Glover's foot.
Here's Jeter. He is fly to center and homer. Got a hanging curveball from Gary in the third. Cranked it out of here. Number 19. I think in your case it's happened.
There you're showing. You're proving it right there, that theory of the bigger head, lesser brains.
Outfield slightly to the right, gap in left center. And make your plans to be with us tomorrow night for the finale of this 3-game set. Kip Wells against Andy Pettit. Close pitch, didn't get that one. Knobloch, 36 stolen bases. 44 attempts. So Jeter got himself a count, 2-0.
Knobloch, those 36 stolen bases. Not that he's the fastest of runners. He does a good job of stealing bases. Has good jumps. Reads pitchers well.
Just a decent lead for Knobloch. Atlanta hitting in the top of the 9th inning, trailing Philadelphia 5-2. Phillies will hang on. Get to win 1/2 game. And the Mets, believe it or not, has a count 3-0. Mets with that 5-2 victory over Pittsburgh this afternoon, who pulled it within 5. Lets him go 3-0 and way back. That's number 20. It's a 4-2 Yankee lead.
That's exactly how this Yankees team can beat you. Get themselves in a position. Joe Torre says, go ahead, kid. You're swinging the bat well. 3-0. Glover's got to go after him. 2-run home run.
Homers, 69 RBIs for Jeter. Ball is coming with 2 out, nobody on. So here's Williams. He has popped to third and he has struck out.
I think he's definitely a team that spread the wealth out amongst themselves. Anybody can beat you with any swing.
Yeah, they have a balanced. Well, they're just good, especially when it counts. Look at the way they went into the playoffs last year, where they lost 7 in a row. And the count 3-0. Playing terrible baseball. All of a sudden, the playoffs come in. And click.
Yeah. Joe Torre got him motivated at the right time. He knew when it was time for them to turn it on, and he talked to them about it, and they did. Danny Williams swinging 3-0. Derek Jeter's 3-0. Fastball right there. Head down. Drive it.
That's into center field. Can of corn for Singleton, but the 2-run homer by Derek Jeter is second of the game. We're halfway home, trailing 4-2.
Michael. Time right now to have a look at our Dodge game summary as the Yankees on top 4-2. Derek Jeter's got 2 home runs. Solo shot in a 2-run blast. Paul Konerko hit his 31st. Chris Singleton stepping in the box to face the Rocket. Chris last time up into a double play.
First pitch strike. Outfield. Straight up and spread out. And the count 0-2. But the Yankees just don't beat themselves that often. We talked about it in the pregame show. There are certain clubs that you can go back and check out. The best playing, not the most talent, but the best playing team that I've ever seen were the Oakland A's back in the early 70s. They won 5 consecutive divisional titles, 3 consecutive world championships. There's a little tapper. Clemens. That time. 1 out. They knew how to play the game. And over the course of 162, they didn't try to go out there and beat you every night. They didn't care who they were playing. They didn't care if the Yankees, if the Tigers, the White Sox. It didn't make any difference. They just went out there and they played their own game. Didn't make any mental mistakes. Ran the bases well. They made errors just like everybody else. But somewhere in that 9 innings, the other team was going to make the mental mistake or make a mistake. And then they jump all over you. And that's what the Yankees do. Seattle has done that this year. Seattle has played probably the best fundamental baseball of anybody, certainly in this league and probably in the National League as well. And Seattle goes out there, they just let you beat yourselves. And then they'll have their games when they come out smoking with the bats. They'll just thump you. It's hard to beat major league teams 162 times. They'll try to beat them 162 times. It's easier as there's to Harper Soriano. Too good. But in order to take that approach and that philosophy, you have to have guys who know how to play.
You've got the Yankees. They've proven as they made a run as good as any team in history. Taking 4 out of 5. So they win when it counts.
Mark Johnson grounded out to Soriano. Takes it up high.
And here's a reminder, see your name or event on the Comiskey Park scoreboard. Messages are available all season long for a $40 donation to Chicago White Sox charities.
It's into right center field. Bernie Williams making the call. 1-2-3 inning for Clemens. We'll go to the 6th, trailing by 2. This inning, it'll be Tino Martinez, David Justice, and Jorge Posada to face Gary Glover. Tino has struck out and he is grounded to second.
There's an original flag on the top of that man's head.
Starts him off with that changeup, gets him out in front, fouls it back. Mentioned last night, besides having a good season offensively, Tino also has, there's a base hit. Had a good year defensively. Got some activity. Sean Lowe. So here's Justice. He's 0 for 2 last time up. Here he just blew him away with a high fastball. Fastball, change, fastball. Strike on the corner. Tino Martinez, 1 for 3 in stolen base attempts. Broken bat, good pitch. Well, he just ate him up.
And here's a reminder, Minnesota Twins come to Comiskey Park to face the White Sox September 25th through the 27th. Tickets are available at the Comiskey Park ticket windows. Ticketmaster Ticket Centers online at whitesox.com or by calling 312-831-SOX. That is the last 3 games here at Comiskey Park.
Here's Posada. He has walked, scored, and struck out. Here he got him on a good curveball down and in. Final from Philadelphia. Phillies over the Braves 5-2. Phillies now a half game behind Atlanta. There's a good strike. Rockies leading the D-backs 8-2. Game in the bottom of the 8th in Colorado. Cubs thumping the Reds 10-0, bottom of the 9th at Synergy Field. Cardinals beat the Brewers 8-2 this afternoon. As he jams Posada, pops it up. Carlos is there. As we mentioned, Mets over the Pirates 9-2 at PNC. Open American League, top of the 5th in Texas, 7-3 Rangers over the A's. Trying to beat Baltimore 4-1 at Sky Dome. Tampa Bay leading Boston 10-2, top of the 8th at Fenway. Bottom of the 6th in Cleveland, Indians leading Kansas City 6-2. And top of the 7th in Minnesota, 6-1 Tigers.
St. Louis playing hot ball, winning 9 out of their last 11 games. Catch up to those Astros.
The Cardinals have won 6 in a row. To another count to Spencer. Hit it off the end of the bat. Two and 2. 18,465 in attendance. At 22,785 last evening. A walk up of 4,539. He got him. He's gone. Strikeout number 7 for Glover. And we're into the bottom of the 6th, needing 2 to tie.
White Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. And by your local Mercedes-Benz Center.
It's the bottom of the 6th inning, 4-6-0 for the Yankees, 2-4-0 for the Sox. It's the top of the order. Durham, Valentin, and Ordonez to face Roger Clemens, who's trying to do something that no other pitcher has ever done in the history of this game, win 20 of his first 21 decisions. If you're just tuning in, Rube Marquardt, 1912, started off 19-1, finished up 26-11.
If you add that up, that means that he won 7 and then lost 10 after that.
I love it when you analyze. Here's the 1-2. Rube Marquardt.
Are you sure that's how you pronounce that last name? Or are you just kind of throwing it out there with confidence?
Rube Marquardt. Little chopper. Here comes Brosses. Bare hands underneath. He makes that play extremely well.
Yeah, he does do that very well. Charge in with the bare hand and then get rid of it. I mentioned last night, though, he got a surprising high total of errors, 21 on the season, especially when you got a guy that makes plays like this. And You see he's timing it. He's getting that position to get that bare hand and play that hop. It works.
Here's Jose. He's 0 for 2. He's going out to right. He's going out to left. Takes ball 1.
What's that other guy's name? Nap what?
LaJoie.
Sure that's the right way to pronounce that one?
Well, a lot of people say LaJoie. Good splitter. And the count 1-1.
I'm just not sure which is the right pronunciation. I've heard both. Now.
Two balls and a strike. A little bit high, good eye.
A little notice right here. Rogers' shoes. I don't know if they got a little something extra on there for that drag toe of his.
The old toe plate.
Well, I do remember when they had those steel toe plates that they would wear. And it just went to a leather, extra leather over the shoe there. They went to some hard plastic that they would put over the toe. Watch this foot drag of Roger Clemens right across there. Wear a hole in there quickly.
Ball hit hard. Tino mentioned what a good defensive year he had. Let that ball play him.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty right there. The ball was hit hard. Stayed down all the way. And Tino looked like he was running from that ball.
Looked like Tino was not ready for it. He may have been thinking about something else.
Ever happened to you at first base?
Heck yeah.
Well, then we probably just saw it again.
Happened to everybody. It shocks you.
Kind of shocks you out of whatever little trance you might have been in or whatever you were thinking about.
That'll be his 4th error of the season. His error is a nice play by Brosius. Soriano makes a good play, and they can't get him. There's a beautiful play by Scott Brosius.
Yes, it was. Looked like that ball was going to be passed him for a base hit. He gloves it, then gets it to Soriano. Good adjustment by Soriano at second base. This ball was not perfectly thrown. And Soriano picks it, and he has to twist at the same time. And still, good enough arm. He tried to complete a double play. Couldn't do it. Magno digging down to first.
So here's Konerko. He's 2 for 2. A homer and a single.
Here's a reminder to book a Comiskey Park group outing with your group of 20 or more fans and cheer on the White Sox during the rest of the season. For details, call 312-674-1000.
Good pitch right there. Got some good movement. Final from Cincinnati, 10-0 Cubs. Curveball, that's downstairs. Come on, Paulie. Some late movement like a cutter.
Rocket will throw a cutter every now and then if you think somebody's on his other stuff. And he just saves it for a special occasion. And that's exactly what it is. That was very smart. Looking at it early. Not just good stuff, but he can outthink you also.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Turn that one over. In on Canerco.
Roger Clemens. Canerco's already hit a home run off him. Has a 2-run lead here. Running on first. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. He'll come up with those pitches that he has in reserve.
Straight back. Fox Box Gun had 97. One here at the ballpark had 95. 39 years old.
Split the difference.
Gets him. And that'll do it. We're into the 7th. 4-2 Yankees.
It's the Voice Stream Wireless Call to the Booth contest. You can win a free phone and Voice Stream Wireless service for a year. Stop by a participating Voice Stream Wireless dealer and make your call to the booth. And tonight's question from Alan Payne, calling from Superior Wireless. Can the Mariners eclipse the Yankees AL record for wins in a season, which was back in '98, 114. And Mariners start today with 105 victories. Yes, they got about as good a shot as you've seen to set that record as the Yankees did the year that they did it.
Well, Mariners have 17 games remaining. If they go 10-7,
they got it.
Poof. Yankees that year went on to win 125 ball games.
You see Sean Lowe has come on, and you see his numbers. Gary Glover out there for 6, gave up 4.
First pitch downstairs to Scott Brosius, 1 for 2 with an RBI. The Yankees, that's pretty good. Won 114 in the regular season and then closed it out by winning 125. And a World's Championship. Jose. Well, here's Soriano. 0 for 2 twice. He was caught looking. Inside fastball. A little line on Gary Glover. 6 innings, 4 runs earned, 6 hits, 1 walk, had 7 strikeouts. Derek Jeter. 2 home runs and 3 RBIs off Gary. One and 1 to count.
Gary Glover's previous high in strikeouts in a ball game was 4. And 3 other starts. Good strikeout night for Gary against former the reigning world champion Yankees.
And Roger Clemens worked 6 innings, struck out Canerco to end the 6th. That was his first strikeout. Yes, he did. He's gone. The hat trick.
Tough night for the kid. Gary Glover had him all messed up on the inside part of the plate. Sean Lowe, different pitch. Runs it way on there, and Soriano can't hold up. Low check swing. Turned his hips a little too far and brought the bat with him.
Here's Knobloch. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the 5th and scored ahead of the 2-run homer. If you're just tuning in, by Jeter on a 3-0 count. There's a little soft comebacker. And Sean has an easy top of the 7th inning stretch. 4-2 Yankees.
He's joining Pete Smith on tape and seeing God Bless America as an expression of thanks to the heroes involved in the rescue and recovery efforts of our fellow Americans.
Kate Smith. And God Bless America as we get set to go to the bottom of the 7th. And that's the story. 4-6-1, 2-4-0. If you're just tuning in, Yankees with 1 in the 2nd, Sox with 1 in the 2nd, Yankees with 1 in the 3rd, Sox with 1 in the 4th, and then the 2-run homer by Jeter in the 5th. So it'll be Leifer, Lee, and Singleton.
Well, Rogers throwing the ball well tonight. Scattered the 4 hits, giving up the 2 runs. Made big pitches when he's had to. But he only has a 2-run lead. Sox run themselves a string of some hits. Maybe a base on ball, and voila, on top.
Well, that 2-run lead, you got to give a large part of that to Joe Torre. Gary Glover really pitched well tonight. He hung the curveball for Jeter's first homer in the 3rd. And I don't think anybody was expecting Derek Jeter to be hitting 3-0. Threw him for the most part just to get me over fastball. Torre let him hit, and he cranked it out of here. And that's just knowing your players and knowing the situation. Brandon Knight.
So true. Torre wisely enough letting Derek Jeter cut it loose 3-0. Not going to hurt anything. Jeter was a good hitter. Jumped on it.
2-2.
Definitely got to know your players. Know the guys that can handle those situations and put a good swing on it. If it's not somebody that you regularly, like your number 4 hitter, cut it loose in those situations, you just got to know him. Know your guy.
Well, in a tie ball game, not many guys are going to let Jeter hit 3-0 when you got Bernie Williams on deck. Torrey did. Some guys just don't know when to let guys hit 300. Fouls it back, so the count hangs full.
That's funny because that's true. I mean, you got to have, that's the difference between some managers that are really probably a little sharper than others, is they can read their players and they can read the situation and the feel of everything. You look out there and say, I think right now is a good time to cut him loose. You look like a genius when it works out.
Come on, Jeff, start us off. And that's ball 4.
It's time for us right now to have a look at our Jose Cuervo game summary as the Yankees, they lead it 4 runs, 6 hits and an error, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Sox. Jeter, 2 bombs. Roger Clemens has thrown 100 pitches in a 6+. He's got 1 strikeout.
Here's Carlos. He has walked and he has hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Ball gets away from Posada. High breaking pitch. That's got to be a pass ball.
Well, you see pass balls. Posada running away with the league lead. 18. I don't know if that's including that last one, but it is definitely a pass ball. Wasn't a cross-up.
Outfield, straight up, spread out.
You see Carlos trying to move the runner along there, shoot it to the right side sometimes when you're struggling like Seeley. And you got a job to do. It helps.
Bobby Howry. And the count 2-1. Yeah, sometimes it does help a guy who's struggling. Get him to try to move it to the right side, but a lot of times you just don't want a situation where you get a guy's wheels turning too much. Usually when a guy's struggling like that and he's trying to move it to the right side, especially off a hard thrower like Clemens, he's probably going to do exactly what Carlos did and just foul a couple off to the right side.
Yeah, you just never know. That's where you come back to the manager again and try and read your individual players who can handle it when they're in a struggling mode, who can't. Carlos could be just doing this on his own. The manager's left him up there on his own too.
He's going to get it done. Clemens over there. So 1 out, Lee for a third. Barreled activity. Stanton and Matysik. So here's Singleton. Chris 0 for 2. Now Brosius wants Posada out.
And while we have a break in the action here, here's a reminder: Sox Fest 2002 will take place February 1st through the 3rd at the Hyatt Regency Chicago downtown. Meet current players and White Sox stars of the past, collect autographs, and shop for unique baseball memorabilia. So mark your calendars for the 1st through the 3rd of February.
Chris looped into a little double play, hit a little soft looper to Brosius. Carlos was on first. They double him up. First pitch strike.
See that graphic? Chris has done a very good job with runners in scoring position. 3-12.
There's a base hit. Leafer scores, and it's a 4-3 ball game.
And another good job by Chris. You could see that he cheated across the plate on Clemens. Roger Clemens normally doesn't like, but Roger throwing one away from him on the first pitch, so he looks out there and slaps it into left field. Doesn't try to do too much. Ball's way out there. Look at that. That is a tough pitch to cover if you're not cheating out that way a bit.
Well, here's Joe Torre. He's got a 13-game lead. He's going to go with Penn because he does not want to give Clemens an opportunity to have this streak of his snapped. And I agree with it 100%. That's what you manage for your player. The Rocket, Roger Clemens, with a chance to win it. He can't lose it. He'll depart, and we'll be back.
So Jay Witosik has come on with the runner on first base. As I mentioned, Clemens will not get a chance to lose this. Worst case scenario, a no decision. You see Witosik is 3-0 with a 5.56 ERA. Well, he's hitting 303. Has 17 walks in his 34 innings, giving up 44 hits, a lot of base runners, 5 home runs. Does have 46 strikeouts in those 34 innings.
Well, if there was just a 3 or 4 game lead over the Red Sox, Clemens would still be in this ball game. Here's Royce. Twice he has gone out to Soriano at second. So Witosik, 29-year-old right-hander, 6'4", 235 pounds, out of Bel Air, Maryland, right outside of Baltimore. He's pitched for Oakland, Kansas City, and San Diego. 4-6-1 for the Yankees, 3-5-0 for the Sox. So they get their signs straight, and here we go. Outfield spread out. Bernie Williams slightly over towards Shane Spencer and right as first pitch ball. Mark Johnson on deck. The final now from Colorado. Rockies beat the D-backs 8-2. Just getting underway. Houston hitting in the top of the first at Pac Bell, and they're leading the Giants 2-0. San Diego did not score in the top of the first at Chavez Ravine. Fouls it back. Count evens at 1. Cleveland leading Kansas City 8-3, bottom of the 8th at Jacobs Field. Top of the 9th in Minnesota, the Tigers 6, Twins 1.
Well, a perfect world right here. Wallace Johnson giving the signs. You have the hit and run. First and third situation. Chris Singleton has stolen 12 bases, been caught 11 times. First and third sounds real appealing for the White Sox.
Soriano. Boy, he guns it over there. Third double play turn by the Yankees, and we'll go to the 8th, trailing by 1.
4-3. Yankees on top. Derek Jeter getting things started right here. Let's take a look right now at our Mercedes moment. Derek Jeter hanging curveball. Gone. Solo shot. He's not done. He's going to have the green light 3-0 and then hit himself a 2-run blast. Oh, Derek Jeter on the night. 2 for 3. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, couple of runs.
So it'll be Jeter, Williams, and Tino Martinez to face Sean Lowe. Outfield around to the right, big gap in left center. First pitch strike on the outside corner, says home plate umpire Mike Winters. Tomorrow night, Kip Wells against Andy Pettitte. It'll be Kansas City coming in for 3, followed by the Minnesota Twins. A little tapper. Good pitch by Sean. Had him out over that front hip. 1 out.
And here's a reminder, the White Sox Wives and the Greater Chicago Food Depository will be accepting food donations at Comiskey Park this Sunday when the Sox host the Royals at 1:05. You can donate a canned or non-perishable food at any gate from 11:30 through the 3rd inning and receive a coupon redeemable for a discounted 2002 White Sox ticket.
Here's Bernie Williams. He's 0 for 3. 1 for 7 in the series. Takes the fastball high. Two and nothing.
Bernie Williams, we talk about Derek Jeter swinging the bat 3-0. Bernie Williams is one of those guys who does an outstanding job when he's ahead in the count and getting a pitch to hit and hitting it real hard.
Three and 0. Double-barreled activity for the Sox. Howry and Pulsifer.
Sean Lowe must have known that. He throws a 2-0 breaking ball.
There he chases. Not a good pitch for him. Hitting left-handed, right-handed, a little bit of different story.
Yeah. Tell you, Bernie Williams, pretty good hitter from both sides. 304 from the left side, 314 from the right.
Like most switch hitters, especially guys with power, as he takes strike 2. Most of them, better low ball hitters left-handed, better high ball hitters right-handed.
Bernie Williams, though, is one of those guys from the left side. He does a good job adjusting if he knows a pitcher's a high ball pitcher. He can get on it. He's looking up there.
So the 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Tino Martinez. And bring out Jerry Manuel. He's going to go to the pen. So he wants Pulsifer. Sean Lowe works an inning and a third. Gives up the 1 walk. He'll depart, and we'll be back.
Don't forget, immediately following tonight's ball game here on Fox Sports Net, You got your Chicago Sports Report. Get a recap of the Cubs and Sox games, wideout Marcus Robinson's status, and our focus tonight, Tony Amonte of the Blackhawks. That's immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Net. New pitcher is Bill Pulsifer on for the 31st time of the season. No record, has an ERA at 6.04. 31 hits he's given up, 18 walks, almost 17 strikeouts.
So good speed at first. Bernie Williams 11 for 15 in stolen bases. First pitch strike. Tino has struck out, grounded to second, and singled. Well, Houston scored 4 runs in the top of the first at San Francisco. That's into left field. Carlos fighting the lights.
He's going to get back there. Get himself in position to make the grab. Dropping down below the lights, it appears.
Here's the DH, David Justice. Justice has grounded to short, struck out, and popped to short. 4-6-1 for the Yankees, 3-5-0 for the Sox.
Dave Justice has just hit .218 against Southpaws on the season. 101 at-bats. Has 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. He struck out 29 times. There you see. Graphic right there against lefties.
First pitch Hunting pops him up left side. Royce Clayton. He's there. If it comes down, this inning will be over. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It is the Yankees by 1.
Fox Sportsnet's coverage of Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you in part by your Chicago area Lexus dealer, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. Primeco. With Primeco, you get better local rates, smarter roaming rates, and long distance included. So go ahead and call. It's Primeco. AT&T Broadband. And by Hyundai, where driving is believing. Test drive one at your local Hyundai dealer today.
Pitching change for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Coming on for Jay Watasic. Here's the southpaw Mike Stanton. Stanton, who worked in last night's ball game, won an inning, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits.
Yeah, Stanton, you see the rest of his numbers. He had a little trouble last night, but not to be unexpected. I keep bringing up the fact that you don't know how each individual is going to react to an extended layoff during the season that they just went through.
Tony Graffinino has come out to hit for Mark Johnson, who was 0 for 2 tonight. There are the numbers on Tony G. In that Houston 4-0 lead, Giants hitting in the bottom of the first. Pitchers are Livan Hernandez and Dave Malicki. Drops the hook on it.
One of the Sox top pinch hitters. You see the graphic. 4 for 9. A long ball on with 4 RBIs.
It's low, 1-1.
Sox as a team pinch hitting. They only have one home run. Tony has it. They've driven in 10 RBIs. So Graffinino has carried the load pretty much off the bench in these situations.
Breaking ball. And there's the man. Mariano Rivera.
One save off the Yankees mark, the record. 46 by Dave Righetti.
That's inside, 2-2. Cues it into the Yankee dugout. Don Zimmer and Gene Monahan. Zim, it's not his fault. Hello, Papa. And Tony fights that pitch off. Good pitch by Stanton on the fist. There you go. Pull a string on him right there. Good sequence of pitches by Stanton. 1 out.
It's time right now to take a look at our Jack Daniels nightcap recap pitching summary. As Gary Glover went 6 innings, career high 7 strikeouts for him. Roger Clemens went 6 1/3. Gave up 5 hits, a couple of runs, had 1 strikeout.
So here's Ray. He's 0 for 3. He is grounded to second. He is grounded to third, and he is grounded to short. Takes low ball 1. If you're just tuning in, 3 home runs in a ball game, 2 by Derek Jeter. He now has 20 on the season. 1 by Paul Konerko. He has 31. And that's off the glove of Brosius. Well, he's made 2 real good plays tonight. Couldn't come up with that one. That should be a base hit.
Had Brosius playing up, even with the bag at third base, hit to his left. Basically, just saw him give an all-out effort. And we've seen him make that play, but that's just because he's got fortunate to be perfect. That's what it takes to make a play like that.
So Jose Canseco has come out to hit for Valentin. Valentin's 0 for 3 tonight. Come alive when that man steps out of the dugout. And here comes Torre. He's going to do everything he can to win this ball game for Roger Clemens. He's talking things over just to make sure he wants to look, and now he's going to go to his horse. So stand well apart. And Mariano Rivera will come in, and we'll be back.
So there he is, the man, the closer, the league leader in saves, Mariano Rivera. 4-5. It's a 2.32 ERA. Has 76 strikeouts and has 73 2/3, only giving up 56 hits, giving up 5 home runs. Not many walks at 12. So Joe Torre definitely showing that he wants to hold on to this game for Roger Clemens.
31-year-old right-hander out of the Chorrillo in Panama. 6'2", 285 pounds, and got one of the great releases in the game of baseball. Nice easy motion, and has that little flip with his wrist, and that ball just jumps.
Don't get me wrong, this man is no fun to hit off of at all. It's very, very difficult to lay off of his high cutter. He just keeps throwing it up there to hitters he knows can't.
Pretty good lead at first. He takes off. Posada with a throw. It's low. And they say that he gets it back down in time. Rob Drake had a perfect shot at it.
All right, looked like he had an outstanding jump. Posada did get rid of it very quickly. And Soriano going to try and get the tag down, and that from that angle is tough to see. But you see how Soriano comes up.
He's safe.
Yeah, he's safe. You don't see it very often that an umpire, when he sees an infielder pull that glove up like that, call a runner out either. He has to put it back down on the play where it's a bang-bang play.
Well, most of the time when that glove goes up like that, big hack back in Seiko. It's hard for him to get it back down. Pitch. And take another look at the play at second base. Contact is made right there with the bag, and he puts it on it. Close play. Not like that Jose yanked that fastball.
That's dangerous right there.
It looked like he was just throwing right at him.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, he threw it right up there and in. Some bad areas. I mean, you can go up and in, but it's released right up above the shoulders.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. So a close play at second to strike out of Canseco. Rivera gets out of it. We're into the ninth. 4-3 New York.
PDAs, handheld.
Top of the ninth inning. Yankees by a run. Some changes for the Sox. Moving into third base for Jose Valentin will be Tony Graffinino. Behind the plate for Mark Johnson, it'll be Josh Paul. And on the mound, a pitching change.
See Bob Howry's numbers. He's 4-5, a 4.58 ERA. He's got 5 saves and 10 chances, 60 strikeouts in his 70. Giving up 73 hits, 10 home runs, and 25 walks.
So here's Posada. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Just joining us, both teams with a run in the second. Yankees with 1 in the third. Sox tied it. 1 in the fourth. Then in the fifth with 2 out. Knobloch aboard. A 3-0 count to Jeter. He hit it out of here. RBIs for the Sox. The 31st homer of the season by Konerko. RBI by Leifer. And an RBI by Chris Singleton. Another shot. So here comes Spencer. He's 1 for 3, had a soft single in the second inning.
Spencer's only grounded into 4 double plays. Bobby get that moving fastball down. He is a good candidate.
Takes that slider low and away. Taking some other scores for you. Bottom of the 8th in Texas, 8-4 Rangers over Oakland. Oakland on a 9-game winning streak. Seattle leading Anaheim 1-0 bottom of the 3rd at Safeco. San Diego hitting in the top of the 3rd in LA, leading the Dodgers 1-0. Houston hitting in the top of the 3rd at Pac Bell, leading the Giants 4-0. Everything else is over. Cubs defeated Cincinnati 10-0. 9-2 Mets over the Pirates. 8-2 Cardinals over the Brewers. Phillies beat the Braves for the 3rd game in a row. 5-2. Montreal 5, Florida 2 up in Canada. And the Rockies beat the D-backs 8-2 at Coors Field. Over in the American League, Cleveland beat Kansas City 11-3. Tampa Bay 12, Boston 2. Toronto over Baltimore 4-1. Tigers beat the Twins 6-2. And Spencer can't get that. And count 2-2. Kip Wells against Andy Pettit. Mikey plans to be with us here at the ballpark. If you can't, that game will be over WCIU Channel 26.
Talked about Spencer earlier, where he hit those 10 home runs in the last part of the season, 98 for the Yankees. That was only with 67 at-bats. 10 home runs and 67 at-bats.
It's about a 52-footer right there.
Spencer this year, 230 at-bats. Only 9 home runs. Hey, those true power hitters, those guys like Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, McGuire. It's no fluke when they hit 10 home runs and 60-some at-bats, 70 at-bats. You do see a lot of players that have a streak like Spencer did that year. And it is just unbelievable ride for him, never to be forgotten.
There goes the runner. Well, it's very unusual when you, especially when you're just calling somebody up.
And Spencer's case, you almost set yourself up. You come up from the minor leagues, you had 10 home runs and 67 at bats. And then they're sitting there thinking, man, we have got the next Babe Ruth on our hands. Kind of hard to live up to that. But you don't know when you're going to run into a hot streak like that. You just do it.
Once again, Posada takes off. That pitch flared into right field. Mags can't get there. It's fair. So the double by Spencer. And the Yankees cooking here in the top of the ninth. Ducks on the pond, nobody out.
Leonardo Contreras, he's on the phone to the bullpen. Spencer looking somewhere else for that pitch, but doing a good job of covering the outer part of the plate. Very defensive, little flick at it, and that's what happens.
That's a heck of a job on a tough pitch.
Yep, he put it in play and got himself a double because of it.
So here's Brosius. He's 1 for 3. Four 8-1 for the Yankees, 3-6-0 for the Sox. If you're just tuning in, pitchers of record are the starters. Gary Glover and Roger Clemens trying to pick up his 20th victory of the season and become the only man in the history of baseball to win 20 of his first 21 decisions. As we mentioned, Joe Torre was going to do everything in his power to get that victory for the Rocket. And justifiably so. If this had been a tight ball game, same situation later on in the season, you couldn't have got Rocket out of there with a backhoe.
Well, Roger Clemens, an opportunity to just add another feather to his cap of an unbelievable career.
As we talked in the pregame show, he's certainly been one of the best I have ever seen by far. You got to remember, a lot of those victories as the count moves to 3-0 to Brosius. And his long career with the Red Sox pitching in Fenway.
That's not even it. Something about Roger Clemens is the point that it didn't matter the situation, especially a guy that can turn it on to another level when the team needed him to.
Well, he's one of the better competitors. And that'll load him up with nobody out for Alfonso Soriano. Josh Fogg. Now, Rogers in that category that you can say there are and have been pitchers as good a competitor as Clemens, but none any better.
That's true. And I think Roger Clemens has always been known as a guy, especially to go out there if a team had been in a funk. So a team had just lost 4 in a row. And Rogers coming to the hill that next day. He was the one you knew that would stop that little losing streak. He's the guy that would step out there and hold the opponent to 2 runs if that's what it needed to be done, or 1 run, or no runs. He just was out there winning. ERA, he's one of those true pitchers that the ERA is not the true telling story of how good he has been. He wins games.
No, but I think if you put him in a normal ballpark, instead of having 279 victories coming into the night, he would be well over 300. There's been a lot of flares. I've seen a lot of flares hit off the rocket, off the green monster. So Sox pack, nobody out. Sox with the infield in. Soriano 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 times he has been called out. Fastballs in the inside part of the plate.
Roger Clemens, if he wins this ball game tonight, you see that graphic on Soriano. Clemens will finish. I mean, will have a career record of 280 victories, 20 away from that coveted 300 win plateau.
Down ball. There's one. They can't do anything with the speed of Soriano, but they get Posada.
Yep, Soriano. He runs too well to go ahead and have the opportunity to turn this on him. But good job just making sure. Tony Graffinino gives Josh Paul a good throw to home plate to get that lead runner.
You know, talking about ballparks that you either hit in or pitch in, that's one thing that always amazed me about Ferguson Jenkins. Really a 7-time 20-game winner. 6 of them coming at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I mean, you can always take into account the conditions that each player has done his big things, whatever they be. Hitters, pitchers, fielders. You know, always take the conditions of the field and whatever else the surroundings are.
I'll never forget the statement that Ted Williams made when I was talking to him one day, and I asked him about the proposed trade between he and DiMaggio. He said, I said, what did you do in Yankee Stadium? He said, no, not Yankee Stadium, Detroit. He said, you put me in Detroit. I said, well, what would you have averaged there? He said, I probably averaged 75 a year. Little flare going foul.
I don't think you could ever really dispute a guy that as great as Ted Williams. If he says it, you got to believe he could have been awfully close to whatever he was talking about.
Well, he missed 5 years, over 5 years in the service of his country. Primetime years. Put him in a normal ballpark, he may have hit 800 home runs if he hadn't missed that time and in a normal park. Ground ball, base hit. That'll score a pair. And it's a 6-3 Yankee lead.
Hitter Soriano chops one right to Graffinino. This one just to the left of Graffinino. He can't get over to this one, and it's going to drive in too. Almost hit about the same pace. About 8-foot difference in location.
Derek Jeter 2 for 4, 2 homers, and now has 20 on the season.
Jeter done an outstanding job. 339 with runners in scoring position. He's just a good hitter. Remember when he first got called the big leagues, didn't have this ability, but he has grown into knowing how to hit at the big league level.
Strike on the corner. He made a believer out of me his first year. I can't recall our left-hander that we had out there. He knocked him down. He got up and he looked at him, and you could just see how competitive he was. Next pitch, he hit a bullet right back through the middle. There's a chopper. Oh, that's only play as the first. So 2 out. And here comes Bernie Williams.
Derek Jeter's first visit to the big leagues was in '95. He had himself 48 at-bats. He hit 250. And you turn around in '96, his first full season, showed you he can play. You're right. He hit .314, 25 doubles, 10 home runs, 78 RBIs.
Well, you can just chart the rise of the Yankees with Derek Jeter's arrival, along, of course, with the outstanding manager Joe Torre. Ground ball. Konerko will take it himself. But the Yankees come up with 2 big insurance runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. 6-3 New York. Yankees put 2 big runs up on the board here in the top of the 9th. As Mariano Rivera trying to nail it down for Roger Clemens and also pick up his 46th save. Tying the Yankee record set by Dave Righetti. Sox will have the heart of their order coming up. Mags, Konerko, and Leifert. So here's Mags. Mags 1 for 3, a double and a run scored back in the 4th inning.
Well, Rivera's not flawless. He does have 5 losses, 4 wins. He's got the 45 saves, so he's done a great job. But mentioned, he's got 5 losses.
Takes that pitch up and in. Count 2-0. Don't help him out. On the outside part of the plate.
That wasn't even his cutter. That was a slider. That had some break on it. On the gun here at 92. Cutter of his is just a lot tighter, a lot smoother sailing across.
Pretty good fastball right there with that cut action. And the count evens at 2. 2
for 5 against Rivera. Maglio, not bad. This guy is a hitter. You just want to take an approach that you're going to try and get him to get it down.
Since he's come into this league, he has been a high fastball pitcher. As we talk about so often, you show me a guy that knows how to pitch up, and I'll show you a winner.
Well, this guy right here is one of the best of his time pitching up and knowing how to. That's for sure.
Not hit hard. In the seats, count hangs at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We saw one of the best for 6 1/3 out there tonight, who's been a great high fastball pitcher. Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens very good at knowing when to go upstairs and get a hitter to chase that pitch out of the zone.
There's a chopper, 2 hopper, Jeter. So here comes Konerko. He's 2 for 3, a homer, a single, and a strikeout. 4-mile-an-hour cutter.
Call anybody that you faced that was similar to Rivera?
No. Nope. Never.
Yeah, this guy, you know, when he came on the scene was pretty original. It really was, even when he came into the scene in the 90s.
There's a broken bat, but it's going to fall for a hit. So Paulie 3 for 4. And right now, let's check out our Dodge Drive coming back in the second inning. Paul Konerko leading it off against Roger Clemens. Number 31. No, the only other guy I've ever seen that had as good a cutter as Rivera was Juan Guzman for a couple of 3 years there when he was with the Blue Jays. As there is a strike on the inside corner. Juan Guzman has there for a couple of 3 years, had as good a stuff as any right-hander in baseball.
Right. You know, you just picked another guy. Yeah, that was very original in the way he threw the ball.
Ate him up. Soriano going to take it himself, and this ball game is over. So the fourth double play turn, as Roger Clemens has just become a 20-game winner. And he has done something that no other man has ever done. Won 20 of his first 21 decisions. And our congratulations go out to the 39-year-old veteran, as Joe Torre wants the baseball. So the final totals on game 2 of this 3-game set. For the Yankees, 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They stranded 6. For the Sox, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 2. Clemens the winner. He is 20-1. Glover takes the loss. Gary pitched well. He is 4-3. Credit Rivera with his 46th save. Right now, let's go back to our studios in downtown Chicago with Eric Goodman.
All right, Hawk, thanks very much. A big night for Kerry Wood and the Cubs. And Tony Amani talks tough about negotiating a new deal with the Blackhawks. The Chicago Sports Report starts now.